Welcome to the Explainer. It's so easy for us to get completely caught up in the hype cycle, right? The newest consumer app, the loud marketing campaigns, all those shiny objects demanding our immediate attention. But if you're a focused learner, you already know that the most profound changes usually happen entirely out of the spotlight. So today, we're diving straight into the Codatta Roadmap. We're zeroing in on infrastructure. We're talking about that deep foundational scaffolding that actually makes the future possible. It might not be the absolute loudest thing on your feed right now, but as we're about to uncover, the scale of what's being built here is quietly massive.
There's this great saying that the projects people ignore today are often the ones solving tomorrow's biggest problems quietly in the background. Think about human nature for just a second. We are completely wired to notice what's visible, right? What's immediately above the waterline. But the true mass, the actual structural integrity that dictates where the whole iceberg moves, well, that's entirely hidden beneath the surface. It is incredibly easy to overlook the problem solvers who are just head down, building the base layers of our digital future, simply because their work doesn't demand our instant gratification.
Okay, let's dive into this, because there is a super clear dichotomy here. On one side, you have the flashy projects of today. These are the immediate distractions. Those heavily hyped launches that capture mindshare for maybe a week and then completely fade away. They're literally designed just for quick attention. But on the flip side, you have the quietly massive solutions being built for tomorrow. These are the structural frameworks. They're incredibly complex, they take real time to build, and honestly, they aren't always easy to explain in a quick 10-second soundbite. But here's the thing. While the flashy projects are desperately competing for clicks, the quiet solutions are competing to become the actual pipes and wiring that the entire next generation of the internet will run on.
And that brings us perfectly to Codatta's actual blueprint. Their roadmap focuses heavily on four absolutely critical pillars: ownership, attribution, interoperability, and automated economic coordination. Now, I want you to think of this list as a sequential progression. Each of these pillars is this intensely complex discipline in its own right, but together they form a highly structured logical foundation. You literally cannot reach that final step of automation without getting the first three perfectly in place. So let's break these down real quick to understand exactly what kind of groundwork is being laid out here.
So the crucial point is, any functional system absolutely needs fundamental roles of reality. Before systems can interact at all, before any value can flow, you have to establish undeniable proof of who holds what, and that is ownership. Imagine it like holding the physical deed to a house. It's the absolute digital bedrock. But ownership alone? It really isn't enough. You also need attribution. Let's say a complex digital environment generates value, like multiple developers collaborating on a massive open source project. How do we officially recognize who contributed what? Well, attribution is the mechanism that tracks the exact origin of that value and effort. Put them together, and these two concepts create a secure, indisputable record that answers two vital questions. Whose is this, and who actually did the work?
Now, what's really interesting about this concept is that moving from isolated ownership to a fully connected ecosystem requires a bridge, and that is exactly where interoperability comes in. It's defined as the capacity for distinct systems and parts to seamlessly connect and function together within a much larger framework. If ownership and attribution are individual islands, interoperability is the shipping route built right between them. Think of it like a universal adapter for your electronics. It allows completely different platforms, protocols, and datasets to actually talk to each other without any friction. Without it, you just have a bunch of walled-off silos. But with it, you unlock a cohesive, interconnected network where those established rights of ownership and attribution can actually travel and be universally recognized.
Let's move on and see how this builds. Because once your systems can seamlessly talk to one another, you can finally build up to the crowning pillar, automated economic coordination. These are systems engineered to manage, align, and execute complex financial or value-based interactions automatically. Think about it. Once you know exactly who owns what, who contributed what, and all your systems can easily communicate, you can actually automate the entire economy between them. Imagine a smart contract that automatically pays fractional royalties to an original data creator at the exact moment their work is utilized by an AI model across the network. All of this happens instantly, based on the rules we just established, completely without needing some human middleman to manually verify the transaction. It's a real game changer. It turns an interconnected network into a living, self-sustaining ecosystem.
And this really illustrates the entire thesis of this roadmap: building ownership layers, designing interoperability standards, engineering automated coordination. I mean, let's be honest, that is simply not going to make the evening news. It is not flashy, but true value, the kind of value that literally shifts paradigms, lies entirely in execution rather than hype. If Codatta successfully executes on this incredibly ambitious infrastructure-first philosophy, they aren't just launching another product, they are laying down the concrete for an entirely new digital highway system, and the potential there is frankly massive.
So, I want to leave you with a question to really reflect on today. What is your honest opinion on this approach? Do you agree that the most vital solutions are the ones quietly being built in the background? Or do you think a project desperately needs that visible, immediate hype to ultimately succeed? Take a moment to really think about that one. I hope this explainer helped you visualize the deep, structural mechanics of what Codatta is aiming to achieve. Keep learning, stay focused, and I will see you in the next explainer.